What's we got politics on in the background. Hope that doesn't anger anybody. I'm a very upset Pittsburgh Steeler fan right now, but they gave it a good go. What up, Jay Santos? I was going to say, well, it's only you and me in here. I was going to eat some of my protein gummy bears, but there's 5 people in here, so you didn't see this. Hello, Tara. I'm a sad Pittsburgh Steeler fan, but that's all right. I kind of wish they played yesterday to see that weather. Hold on here. I'm in the process of ordering some new equipment, so my internet is good for you guys. And salutations, Melinda. Might be more women in here than men. A live stream first. Nick the Dick. That's only meaningful to you if you've seen the movie Bachelor Party. Is the TV noise in the background disturbing to anyone? If so, I will pause it. If you hear a clanking in the background, it's Lois's leash hitting the food bowl. Lois don't care. We'll go to about 8 o'clock. I know Pat Dixon starts his stream around 8, so I don't want to take away people from him. Excuse me. The first super chat of the day, and I couldn't think of a better person to do it. Peter Chicken Man Brennan. Daddy Man, you watch MLC today. I have been dealing, unfortunately, with a Jeep that is only 2 years old and isn't started. So I did not watch. I think I was on for about, I don't know, less than 5 minutes. They had that lady on, who I'm sure is very cool and nice, but I don't know. She just doesn't do it for me. Like, I tuned in when she was talking about hanging out with some black celebrity, but she wouldn't say who it was. So it's like, why bring it up in the first place? So that's all I saw. I prefer high women to man ratio. Well, I mean, we've got 13 people in. I think we have 3 women in, so the men are back. It's like a pro wrestling audience. 10-3, I think, is a fairly accurate appraisal of my demographic fan base. Hit the likes if you don't mind. It helps with the algorithms. And thank you to Peter Chicken Man Brennan for the tip. I always say this at the beginning of every show. I will never ask you guys for money. Just think of super chats as I'm your bartender, and if you like what I'm doing, you're tipping. It's not a donation. I don't need the money. But I don't not need the money. So thank you. We've got 40 delegates at stake tonight in Iowa. So I like watching MSNBC the most because they seem like they hate Trump the most. So let's go over to CNN. Let's see what's going down there. I'm fair and balanced. I don't vote anymore. So right now, I believe Trump has 55.6%. Uh, DeSantis 18.9. Haley 18.3. So I don't watch Monday Night Raw. I'm not really a fan. I last night I was at Hollywood Championship Wrestling, um, where I saw pretty Peter Avalon wrestle. Jay Santos, $1.99. I believe that's a sticker. Yes, it's a third. Let me see if I can celebrate your third. I didn't know I could do that. Hit the like. I'll hit the likes for you guys. Thank you, Peter and Jay. New girl in chat. What is happening on the news tonight? Just the Iowa caucuses. Well, I'm a political junkie, so but I don't like to talk politics too much because. Uh, oh, okay. Well, thank you. I didn't know how to read that. Um, Let me see. Well, they're all talking Trump right now. The New Day and Gunther. That seems pretty fair and balanced. Well, I guess. Peter Chicken Man Brennan, $2. Do you think my bro Neil gets any KB questions at the store? Not really. I don't mean to break people's hearts about the Dabbleverse, but it's a very small collection of fans. I think people are not talking about the Dabbleverse at comedy clubs. Thank you, Chris, for explaining that to me. Oh, no problem. What up, William Zoom? Trump won in Iowa, right? Well, he's winning. Right now, he's got 50.4%. Shout out to Asa Hutchinson for 0.1%. It's an old Dennis Miller joke, but that's like just a little more than me, and I'm not running. Um, so, well, I mean, he's going to win in Iowa. DeSantis has 22.3, Haley's at 20, Ramaswamy's at 6.7, and good old Asa Hutchinson, 0.1. Okay. Well, I mean, see, we can talk politics. I don't mind. Um, I'm in the middle, so I'm actually a really good person to talk politics with because I think both sides are full of shit. You got Biden saying Trump's not fit, Trump's saying Biden's not fit, and the only guy who's probably fit is my cousin RFK Jr. And he's in his 60s. Oh fuck. I don't think he'll drop out before November unless it's a medical situation. I mean, I don't believe our vote matters. I mean, last election was very fascinating to me. I think Biden won, but it's strange to me that he got the most votes in presidential history when, he's a fairly unaccomplished career politician. I mean, outside of the Obama 8 years, name one thing he's done, and it's hard. So how the hell did he all of a sudden become so popular? Yeah, RFK Jr. is Jack. For a 60-year-old, respect. I did not, Ross Incognito. Yeah, 100% Jay Santos. We're dropping a football score, 13-3 Bucks. Well, if he gets convicted, it'll be interesting. I mean, you thought we'll have January 6th. If he gets convicted and he's winning the presidential election, we're going to have a whole month. Well, no, I mean, I think he won, William. I mean, when you win by what is it? What did he win by? Like 17 million? There weren't 17 million fake votes. Um, but I do find it interesting, and I'm sure Trump got some fake votes. So to me, it all worked out. Um, I mean, maybe I could see that, new girl. Yes, smash the likes, please. I don't listen to other people's podcasts because I don't want to steal ideas. I think eventually I'll have my cousin on. I mean, I saw a couple clips, and Theo's a very funny guy, but I could tell, like in that interview and the Ric Flair interview, he didn't do his research. But and no, that's not me hating on Theo. I just, I'm a research freak. Yeah, I know. I'm not really, it's an open forum in here, new girl. Um, well, I mean, I think voting should be more monitored, but I don't know how you do that, to be honest with you. My cousin is RFK Jr. For those of you wondering how that connection is, um, my aunt is Ethel Kennedy, and her brother was my dad. Um, oh yeah, I know. No heat on Theo. Like we're friends. I do think I would have been better to interview Ric Flair because I'm a much more I'm a bigger wrestling fan than Theo. ACDC 5150 4.99. My new favorite podcaster Earl. He loves the wildlife movie. F. Jimmy Faila. I don't know who that is, but I do love the wildlife movie. Um, I mean, that'd be interesting, new girl. He said he would do it, but you know, I can't beg my own cousin. Didn't he used to date Daryl Hannah? No, that was, I believe, uh, John Kennedy Jr., not RFK Jr. Yes, William Zoom beat me to the punch. William Zoom, the quickest fan I have. Um, Thank you, ACDC, for that super chat. For those of you wondering, the wildlife movie, there's two wildlife movies. I like the one with Eric Stoltz, Leah Thompson, Hart Bachner, uh, Kevin Peter Hall, Comedy Store Paid Regular, Angel Salazar, Michael Bowen from The Bad Guy from Valley Girl. I think the problem with my cousin is he goes hard on and this is where I want to be careful because I don't want my stream to be fucking taken down. But he's into the conspiracy stuff, so I don't know if he would get a lot of mainstream support. It's all right, Jay Santos. I'm not real quick right now. Been out of commission since last Friday. So I hope everything's good. Turn down the background noise. Bam. Well, I asked you guys earlier if it was annoying and no one answered. So now I have my because one time I had my TV on and it was louder than what was just on, and no one complained. I mean, same thing. I mean, with Jesse Ventura Ross, he's kind of a wild card. You know, just say whatever comes off the top of his brain, and you know, I think you get a very limited pocket of people when you do that. Well, I hope your neck and shoulder get better, William Zoom. You've been a loyal fan of mine, and I appreciate all of you. There's such an emphasis in the Dabbleverse of followers and likes and numbers. And sure, I wish I had 500 people in chat right now, but I'm happy for the 16 I have. Um, you might be able to have RFK on, but would you have to take it down and put it on your Patreon? No, I mean, I don't wanna, like I mean, I'm sure that would get a huge bump on my Patreon, but I'm kinda concentrating right now, new girl, on my streaming. I think that, um, like, I'm excited to do these streams because and although I don't do it for the money, like, I'm not gonna get rich streaming. I gotta be honest with you guys, it is nice to get paid for my time. Um, and I realize that I'm not roasting people or talking shit or saying bad things about this comic or that comic. And it's tempting from the standpoint of if I was in this for a money grab, I'd start ripping everybody. Kevin, Chad, everyone, because I'd be the best roaster in the Dabbleverse. Because it's my thing. But I want this to be friendly conversation and you know whatnot. So it's probably I'm suffering in numbers, but I don't mind. That quote that got him talking about C-19 disproportionately affecting blacks and Caucasians while sparing Asians and Jews didn't do him any favors either. I mean, I'll give him this, Chris. He he says what's on his mind, which I appreciate. Um, I'm glad William is getting better. Yeah, Al Franken was cool, but that picture of him like grabbing the military girl's tits or something that kind of sunk in. Um, yeah, but I mean, I'm sure if I interviewed my cousin and I put it on Patreon only, I'd probably be at 500 um, subscribers, and they'd probably only sign up for that month. Uh, I'd probably put it on YouTube just so I can really get the numbers because you guys have been so good to me on the live streams that I'm already almost at 4,000 hours. And um, that's when you could put ads in your shorts and your videos. And although I don't have any viral videos, I've been told, given the amount of views my videos get, I could probably make 1,000 a month. It's not a lot. It's not like a tremendous amount of money, but hey, it's $12,000 extra a year. That could help pay my taxes or whatever. Buy a new iMac for better streaming. ACDC 5150 $1.99. Trump 2024. Yes. Or I'm looting. Well, don't say that in the stream. I don't want to get taken down. I don't want to be a part of the rogue alliance of ACDC 5150. Um, Earl, do you think the flock failed at WCW? Peter, every now and then you throw a question in there that totally confuses me as to who they are. It was better in ECW. Well, I mean, I only bring that stuff up, Chris, because, like what I love about Kevin Brennan is he encourages the trolls. So he has two pools of people tipping him or donating, whatever you want to call it. William Zoom gave me the idea of saying it's tips. You're a bartender. You're an online bartender. Um, so he gets people saying your brother Neil's funnier than you. Fuck you. Oh, I'm not going to read it. Oh, $5. My brother Neil's funnier than me. And then he gets his fans. You're funnier than Neil. I'm not going to read that. Oh, $10. You're funnier than Neil. So I mean, I do think that for me, maybe a good avenue is like a stream like this, where it's like loosey goosey, but then kind of not make it wrestling dominant, but like pro wrestling it's a very divisive subject. People like AEW and they hate WWE and vice versa. So if I could get those groups in this chat, you know, I think I could be on something. Leslie, to my knowledge, did not come in Saturday night, but I did go on very late. I was at the Comedy Store. My set was supposed to be at midnight. I think I went on at 12:45. But I will say this, the crowd was hot, so they stayed for me. Um, Oh, no, I'm not trying to make anyone obsolete, I just like, I don't have the energy Melton does, to do these deep dives into Chad or, my one of my original LA comedy friends, Ty Rivera. Melton's gone in on him for, like, 4 years. Like, I mean, I hold grudges with one person, and it's very justified. That would be Jeff Ross, if you aren't up to speed in the Earl world. So I'm not, no. I'm oh, that's alright, AC/DC. Um, the flock, who's the flock of the Comedy Store? I don't know, that's a tough one. Yeah, yeah, Days with Jordan the Lion. Check out Jordan's, YouTube page. He's the number 1 vlogger, travel vlog on YouTube, and you could all get inspiration from, Jordan, he made his own shit, and now it's at the top of the charts on YouTube. Hulk found Jesus and immediately rescued a girl from a car accident. I don't know. Is that the current news story? William, I'm out of the loop. I've been dealing with car problems all day. I heard Leslie wants you to be slimmer in the new Ghostbusters. Pew, pew, pew. I don't think I'll be in the new Ghostbusters because I believe Jason Reitman is friends with Jeff, and you know how that is. Birds of a feather. Sammy G does look good, and yes, he is Jay Santos. Inappropriate Earl, but Zoom stream or live at a table. You networked ton of cool people. Yeah, I mean, I do have. I'm trying to see what direction I want to take Inappropriate Earl. I mean, I could just take the audio from this and put it on iTunes and say episode 375. Um, but anything's on the table. I have a friend of mine who works at the Comedy Store. He wants to come over and check out my setup. He set up Tim Dillon's situation. So I'm trying to. Someone said, "Oh, just rename your podcast and start from the beginning." I don't want to. I mean, I think Inappropriate Earl is. I don't want to say it's iconic, but the name is. Yes, my Jeep won't start, and which is weird because it's 2 years. It's only 2 years old, and my the lights are work, so it's not the battery, and the check engine light flashes 10 times, and apparently that's a thing in Jeeps. But we'll see what happens. Ric Flair at the Bucks Eagles game. Well, I will. Wendy, his ex-wife, said he would do my stream, so that would be one where I would make Inappropriate Earl and YouTube. Um, yeah, I mean I do think it's my brand, but I do like these streams. I mean, I have fun doing these streams, uh, and like I said, the monetization. It's not going to make me rich, but like I said, it's nice to be. I've done comedy virtually for free for 25 years. I mean, outside of roast battle, which the only reason I made so much money on that show was because I kept winning. I've never got. I'm not complaining, but I'm just this is LA comedy or comedy in general. I've never gotten a residual check from roast battle. Not one. Not even a penny. So you know. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like I've been reading online about in Jeep forums, um, and it says basically what you just said. There's something that's tripping the power going into the starting. I don't know. So I mean, I might call AAA tomorrow. Yes, that is a. I'll do this. That is a autographed CD, I guess, from all 4 original members of Kiss. Now, when I have a better camera, you could probably see the autographs on it, but and I have some nice pictures right here. I have a great picture right there of Jack Lambert that will, um, absolutely be part of my podcast background. Um, turn it off and restart. That will fix it. I mean, I've tried. I'm going to try a little bit fucking around tonight and see what happens. If not, I do have AAA, but I do appreciate the. I know right before my lease is up in a month, so um, you know, 16 to 9 bucks. Thank you for Johnny. He's our sideline reporter in chat. Um, I mean, I treat this car amazing. Get all the oil changes at the proper time, and I mean, I can't imagine the starter would go out, and I really don't drive it that much. I mean, I have 16,000 miles in basically 3 years, so it's hardly like with my Dodge Magnum. I think in 7 years I had about 130,000 miles on it. Just locking and unlocking the doors. I mean, I'll try it. Fuck it. Um, I mean, I do have a good mobile mechanic guy. Um, uh, but because I live in a subterranean garage, so I mean, I don't think it needs to be towed. But I mean, worst comes to worst, if it's the starter. Uh, wow, I will try that, William. I mean, it's worth a shot before I have to pay money for the mobile mechanic or AAA. Do you think Danhausen put a curse on your car? Maybe because I took a picture with him at the flare road and didn't pay him. By the way, here's my latest doll, Jordan. You will appreciate this. Sorry, my glasses are crooked. I sat on. I got this last night watching my friend Pretty Peter Avalon, and this wrestler was doing an autograph signing. So I said, "Fuck it." Ta-da! Do 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 do. The great Scorpio Sky. Very nice guy. Championship comedy in Long Beach. Jeeps and Dodge. Yeah, I mean, my Dodge Magnum. The only reason I got rid of it was because one night, right before I was supposed to be on set on "I'm Dying Up Here," the whole electrical system went. So, and I think my Hellcat, now that I think of it, had some. Oh, thank you, Wheezy. Wow, you guys are see. This is what I love. See, this is why I'm glad I have 14 people in chat versus say 900, and half of them saying I suck at comedy or I have bone cancer or whatever. Someone actually tweeted at me. Uh, People are like trying to help me. I'd rather get that help than a super chat. And just as I say that, bam. Let me read these first, ACDC. Old Jeeps. I think they are a much more dependable new chat. The new girl in chat. My buddy has a 2016 Rubicon and it's always broke. I mean, mine's 2021 and I fucking keep it impeccably like, look how bad my glasses are. Out of control. ACDC 5150, $4.99. Thank you very much. Underrated football movie, Tom Cruise, All the Right Moves. Oh, Jimmy Failla is the hack comedian on Fox News. I mean, I only watch Gutfeld, oh, when my friends are on it, and it's pretty rough. A lot of people want me on it, but I don't know if I could save that show. I remember All the Right Moves because I took my very first girlfriend, Jennifer Molina, who the hell was that? Who I still talk to that movie in Westwood. It was the same theater I saw Showgirls and the movie Predator. Jordan will appreciate this because he'll know he's probably seen a movie in this theater, the Abco Theater. Um, I did like, and speaking of the wildlife, Chris Penn was in All the Right Moves. Um, it is an underrated movie. the problem with Tom Cruise is he's made so many good fucking movies that, like, that movie gets, like, kinda and Leah Thompson. It's a very wildlife, eccentric, uh, uh, connection. Um, so, I mean, I would say my top 3, 'cause I don't really have a top 5 football movies. Um, my favorite North Dallas 40, second favorite Longest Yard, and Semi Tough with Chris Christopherson and Burt Reynolds. Crazy opening line in that movie in the limo, but I that would definitely get my chat stream banned for life. Um, so thank you, ACDC. I used to work in the mid 2000s, Jeep Liberties, and those things were total junk. I mean, I love the Rubicon. I mean, it saved my life in all seriousness one day when I was with this girl and we got caught in a street takeover. And it was the wildest fucking thing I've ever been involved in. Just, I'm not going to say hundreds, but I would estimate uh, probably 100 cars coming at us, and 50% of them were on my side of the road coming right at me. And right before the second wave hit, I drove over the median and then drove over a curb to just cruise in the parking lot until it was done. And here's the crazy thing. So, uh, me and my friend are like watching the street take over, and it was kind of fun to watch. And then all of a sudden, this Mexican dude appears out of nowhere. Like he was the lookout, I think, for the cops. And he had baggy clothes on. And, who's to say he had a gun or not? I really don't know. But he said, "What are you guys doing, man?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm just trying to get home, man. I live right there." And so but I do like the Jeep for stuff like that. Um, I will, Wheezy. I appreciate that, Wheezy Jefferson. I'm a big Jefferson fan. So do I just take out the positive one or the negative one too? Um, Sorry, my chair is sinking. I got a new computer chair, so I won't be slipping and sliding. Yes, Chris Penn uh, was a good linebacker in all the right moves. I think he got a girl pregnant, or was that the Italian guy? Days with Jordan the Lion, $5. Tell Steve Stevens Lois chewed on your glasses, and maybe he can send you a new pair. I will, because he did with my ray gun. The autograph right there. So Steve Stevens is an amazing guy. If you like Steve Stevens, please go on his website, and he's got some cool stickers and T-shirts. I don't get a cut, but and that's a Steve Stevens doll right there in the box because Lois broke that one out of control. Um, Brown people are ops for sure. I don't know what that's. Oh, geez, can I get kicked out of here for saying that? Um, Johnny B. Good's a good. I did well. Jenny Wright, inappropriate Earl alumni, is in that movie, along with the great Jeff Kober. He was like my go-to late '80s bad guy. And then he popped back up, and I think seasons 2 and 3 as the mayor in bed with the Henry Rollins and Adam Arkin in the white supremacist season of Sons of Anarchy. My friend worked on Sons of Anarchy. She said Adam Arkin, I guess, stutters, but like as soon as the cameras go on, it's like Mel Tillis. He doesn't stutter at all. Don't mess with your battery terminals. You can mess things up. Well, I'm getting conflicting advice from William and Wheezy Jefferson. I know you both mean well, so I don't know. Disconnect only positive. Wait an hour. Okay. The Chiefs top off or ladies tops. I don't think we've ever heard anyone say anything negative about Steve Stevens. He's awesome. Like, uh, I think I put some. Post out about Italian food, and he's like, "When I'm in town, I'll take you to a real Italian meal." Like, I could tell he meant it. Like, we've never met. And I speak every now and then with his wife, Josie. So, and she's just as cool. Could you get Wheeler Yuta over? I don't think so, man. They got to keep that guy away from the mic because he looks like, next time you see Wheeler Yuta doing a promo, like, this is how his face looks. Like, I mean, if you told me someone in his family had Down syndrome, I would believe it. I'm not even trying to be funny, but he's got like a weird look in his face. Thank you, Jordan, for that super chat. Wheezy is wrong. Never Newer cars don't reset. Okay, no, I mean, well, I thank both of you. The only or okay. I don't know if I want to do that, Jay Santos. I don't want to get shot. I mean, I'll try to lock and unlock 10 times. Well, I don't want to gaslight or not gaslight. What do you call it? I don't want to dox where he used to live, but he lives in Vegas now. But he lived off of the Sunset Strip. Um, yeah. No, I'm a big Prince Vince. I'm a big, 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 big Steve Stevens fan. How are the gays in West Hollywood doing these days? Pretty good, I guess. I don't know. You can power cycle a car. That's probably a William or Wheezy can answer that one. I never saw one episode of The Sopranos, AC/DC. Don't do what Santos said either. I mean, you know what, guys? I'm leaning towards trusting William Zoom just because I've known him the longest. But I do appreciate uh, everyone's advice. I mean, I can't imagine a 2-year-old car would the starter would be out already, and I don't drive it hard at all. Just local short distance LA drives. I will say, William, and I don't want to make this stream about my car. The only thing that happens is when you press the button, it's not like a ignition thing. Um, and the engine light flashes 10 times and then it stops. So, I mean, I guess that would indicate an engine problem. I hope not, but no, no. And Jay and Wheezy, I listen. I'm open to all. I appreciate the help, whether it's good or bad. You guys are. Yeah, I mean, I'll try. Well, I'll do the 10 thing tonight, and I'll let you know, William, how that does. What up, Dave? Any Vinny Vincent updates? I think he's charging people now for his Facebook page. Peter Chicken Man Brennan. May- Maybe Jeff Lifschultz is behind your car problems. Nothing would surprise me with him. If you guys only know. ACDC. Earl, I'm retired law enforcement. Where can I send you a cop shirt? Well, I don't want to give my address out of on the stream, but um, are we friends on Instagram, ACDC 5150? I will give you my address there. And thank you for your service. I have many friends who are police. Actually, my best friend in grade school was, I don't want to give his name out. Well, I guess it's out there already, but if you guys care to research, you can find it pretty easily. He was the Beverly Hills cop who busted George Michaels in the bathroom. Um, so yeah. There's some YouTube person that made a stream on the code I beat. Okay, yeah. I mean, I don't know anything about cars, to be honest with you. Now, William, may I ask you one question? Vinnie Vincent is a he, she. A lot of people think that ACDC 5150, but I don't. I think he just put on weight. Vinny needs the money for new Tupperware. See, I get that, William. Now, when you say start and stop the car 10 times, do you mean the button? Like put the foot on the brake, the button, take it off, foot on the brake, button, take it off, or the door locks? Just do that with the clicker. Don't send stuff to the store. Oh, you can send stuff to the store. Um, I mean, if you want to do that, I guess that's the safest way. But I'm so trusting with everyone. The Comedy Store address is Let me look it up. You'd think I would know. I think it's I don't like, looking up stuff while I'm doing a stream, but I actually forgot the, address. You'd think I would remember that. Um, 8433 Sunset Boulevard, West Hollywood, California, 90069, and, just sent it care of Earl, and, I should get it. Someone sent me my Abdullah the Butcher, doll to the store. But I'm so trusting of people, I would have given you my, home address. But I guess it is. Now I won't lie to you. There is one guy who always calls in the stream on my home phone number. That's scary, to be honest with you. But Jeff Ross will steal your mail from the store. I wouldn't put it past him. Okay, so yeah, just do that then. ACDC at the Comedy Store. Wheezy Jefferson, 84. Thank you, Wheezy. Some new glass frames. Yeah, these are Ditas. If anyone, no, I'm just kidding. These are like a lot of money. I would never. Well, I thought you meant you sent Neil Brennan's. Don't send me anything at the cellar because I never play there. Is Ryan watching? Ryan who? It's a secure building unless it's Mike, the tile guy. Yeah, I mean, I've never seen that guy, and I was good to that guy. For those of you wondering what William is talking about, Mike, the tile guy. I used to do comedy at the Hot Wired Cafe, which was a speed freak recovery coffee shop bar, uh, like a Starbucks for recovering speed freaks. So, I got to know this guy, and he's had an open mic on Friday and Sunday night. And he was telling me he's broke and he's a contractor. I said, well, my bathroom floor needs new tiles. So I paid him money, and then he didn't finish the job, but he left his gear here, and then he stole the gear back. Never finished the job. Hey, Mike, the tile guy. Junkies are like, yeah, I mean, William, that's the last thing I get when that's, um, uh, I lost my train of thought because of uh, the super chat I'm about to read. Um, I have a soft spot in my heart. So, Ross Incognito, $9.99. I don't deal with psychos. I put them away. Thank you very much, Ross Incognito. Um, Days of Jordan the Lion. Virgil is an Earl guy. He is an Earl guy. I will give you that much. Before they went bubblegum. I'm trying to. Oh, yeah, yeah. I agree with you, Jay Santos. You might be off on the car advice, but I agree with your musical takes. But I appreciate your car advice anyway. By the way, this is not a sponsor of Inappropriate Earl, but I decided to. Oh, I guess it works better if you do that. A Ghost energy drink. It's not great. It's not bad. Um, are you going to Sting's last match now that we know it's the Bucks? I don't know. That match doesn't do it for me. Doesn't really make a lot of sense. Like I don't go, okay, that makes sense. But to be honest with you, I don't know what match would make sense. I mean, I would think you could put Big Bill and Ricky over if they beat the shit out of Sting. And maybe it wouldn't make sense, and he probably doesn't want to do it, but maybe if Darby turned on Sting, um, you could go Darby versus Sting. 'Cause Darby could just take all the bumps, but I do believe this is Sting's last match. I don't think this is going to be like I don't think Ric Flair has had his last match yet, so it should be interesting. I might go. I'm probably going to go. Did you ever watch Eleanor wrestle? Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen her wrestle. She's good. She's an easy rider. Thank you, Jay. AC/DC. Yeah, I like Ghost. I mean, my go-to is Diet Rockstar Yellow. Do you prefer my Dodge Magnum or the Jeep for running over the homeless? I love my Dodge Magnum, man. If the electrical system didn't go out, I would have kept it. Because I owned it. I owned it outright. I paid 43 grand out the door for it. Um, Sting said he wanted the Bucks. It's going to be a good one. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I believe. I mean, I'm sure he said it, but it sounds like something he may have been forced to say because they've never. I mean, they've wrestled once or twice. Um, like when Sting took the super kicks and he no sold it. Um, hey, let's celebrate Ross's first super chat. See, I'm still new to the game. I'm just trying to figure it out. Dave, Sting, yeah, so I don't know if I agree with that, Dave, but, hey, Grimace in Pain, what's up, buddy? He said a year ago he wanted his last match to be beside Darby. I mean, yeah, I mean, but I just think that could be a good storyline because Darby's a little stale right now, and he seems like he could play a good heel. I mean, I know he's a reborn Christian extraneous, so he probably wants to go the Nikita Koloff route and just travel the world speaking at churches and shit. No, not yet, Ross. I mean, they don't do that well views wise, and it's not very time. Doesn't take a lot of time, but but maybe I only do the ones I legit haven't tried, and I think I've pretty much tried them all. Um, what did you think was going to be the last match? Omega versus Tri- be triggering old Stinger across the arena. No. I mean, I would have gone for sure if it was Kenny Omega. I mean, here's the thing with Sting: he can't be in a one-on-one match, so that cuts out a lot of guys. Now, if they really, like this is how like Vince McMahon would think. You bring over Osprey, and Osprey just beats the shit out of him for 10 minutes, and Osprey's over. Because here's the thing with Will Osprey, like he's known in the states, but he's not like completely over. Like I didn't even know he wrestled Saturday in San Jose. I probably would have gone up there. It was a New Japan card. By the way, what a weekend for. Oh Jesus! Sorry about that. Sorry about that. My bad. My bad. You had I think Mustafa Ali and Jack Perry debuted in New Japan. You had Woo! Dolph Ziggler and Nick Nemeth. Well, same person. Debuting in TNA when he took out Moose. AEW had a good collision. Rampage was okay, but a great weekend for wrestling. It's a great, this might be, I don't want to say it's rivaling the Monday Night Wars, but some great wrestling going on. And AEW better watch out because fucking TNA's coming. If they sign Mercedes Monet, woo, that would be pretty good. Um, so, the fact that Sting can't really wrestle one on one anymore, that definitely cuts down the, you know, the number of options. I mean, but if you think about it, if Osprey just beat the shit out of Sting, and then United Empire, Fletcher and Davis came out, there's a 3-on-1, just manhandling this guy, it'd be over. Because right now, even United Empire's not like it's not like you go, oh my god. Or, you know, it could have been a good way to extend the devil and his henchman storyline. You have maybe Roderick Strong against Sting, and then he beat down happens. Because I don't know if the United Kingdom, no, the Kingdom, the United Kingdom, what is this, Mutual of Omaha on Sunday nights? Uh, they're not completely over yet, so I don't know if I mean, because Adam Cole's hurt, MJF's hurt. So if you want to continue the devil storyline, you got to have him do something significant. So beating up Sting would be that, but that's in March. Um, yeah, I mean, at least he's honest. So I get it. I mean, the Bucks are good. They'll sell for Sting. Uh, there'll be there'll be at least two crazy Sting spots, and yes, it was an amazing wrestling weekend there. Peter Chicken Man Brennan, most likely to OCCR. Mencia goes on the Comedy Store podcast. Are you and Ross trying his pumping mics? That's a tough one. I definitely Mencia. I usually never say never, but I can assure you I will never work with Jeff again, ever. And I never say never. Like I'm usually like, I'll roast battle again. Never. I'll never roast battle again. I'll never work with Jeff again. Uh-uh. But I mean, like, I think Sting could go 10 minutes with Osprey and just, you have Sting start out, you know, 3 to 4 minutes of Sting doing well, and then Osprey just starts beating the shit out of him. That would put Osprey over like that, and he'd be known as the guy who ended Sting's career. Uh, the great John Gotti once said, "Anyone that does drugs is garbage pail." I agree. That's out of left field, AC/DC, but I agree with you. I've never done a drug in my life. Raven is a frequent chatter in a couple of the channels. I like Earl. Do you know him? I don't, Jay Santos. But I would love to have him in this chat. You're really missing a prime chance to be uh, questioning. Man, call up Sky Blue. I mean, I could put her. I could put anyone over but Wheeler Yuta. I'm not that good. Just because Sting is retiring doesn't mean Osprey has to murder him on the way out. That's how I would do it. Uh, you know, because then you could have Osprey and Darby, and then you could really like use it as a springboard. I mean, Sting seems like the type that would put Osprey over to an American audience. Um, so, I mean, I just hope they don't fuck him up, Dave. I did not see Florentine when he was here. Yeah, and you're absolutely right, extraneous. When I say I've never done a drug before, I mean I've never had a cigarette, cocaine, weed, cigarettes, whatever. But I absolutely, this is my drug, caffeine. Peter Chicken Man Brennan, you can ask as many questions as you want, Mr. Chicken Man. Last one, most likely to occur. The store gets a ramp or Leslie Jones stops bumping. The store gets a ramp. Oh no, the last one. Most likely to occur. The store gets a ramp. I can get them for you. Get them in here, Jay. That'd be nice to. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I'm not the biggest Raven fan, but obviously, he seems like an open spirit, I guess you'd say. Any chance of getting Michael Skakel on Ross? No. Uh, all the way up to 16. Hello. Um, any Michael Skakel or Dabbleverse questions are going to be super chat only in the future. I'm learning. Earl, Eddie Van Halen, or Hendrix? Well, I go with Eddie Van Halen, to be honest with you. But I almost want to throw a dark horse in there and say Randy Rhoads. I did Adderall years ago. It's a hell of a drug, crazy side effects. I mean, I was on, well, let me take that back. I did do, when I was depressed many, many years ago, I was on Prozac. Um, I didn't like it. I literally couldn't get a boner. And I was dating a girl who was insanely hot. And I literally half the time couldn't get it up. And she probably thought I was gay at some point because I can guarantee you, no guy had a problem getting it up when they saw her naked and pretty face and all that. Sting versus Jeremy Piven. I mean, maybe. I'm trying to think. If you're telling me Osprey's a no go for Sting, Jordan, I mean, you need someone to take the bumps. I mean, Ziggler would have been great because Ziggler would have sold for Sting. I'm talking a one-on-one, not a tag match, which I understand it has to be. Um, I mean, although Powerhouse Hobbs sold the Scorpion Death Drop off the balcony onto the table, but it looked like both got hurt. Sting had a look on his face as soon as he landed, like, "Oh, that hurt." Um, so I couldn't wake up when I was on Adderall, so stopped taking it. I've been on Effects, Effexor, Prozac, Paxil, Zoloft, I think, Wellbutrin. Effexor is by far the worst with side effects. I mean, I'm telling you, right, and this was a prime testosteroned out Earl. I literally could not get an erection, or it was very hard to get one. Formerly. Um, so, you know, and then when I got off it, me and the girl stopped seeing each other. But so fun times, fun times. That was late '90s. Yes, late '90s, I believe. Yeah, late '90s. Sting as a manager. I don't think he'd be good as a manager because he's never been known for being great on the mic. Let's be honest. I mean, outside of going woo, you know, like I don't know if he could be, and maybe a general manager. So you could slide him in on something like that. Um, so I mean, it'll be interesting to see, where his post wrestling career stops and starts. Uh, he seems to be pretty juiced in AEW. I can't see him going back to WWE, especially after how they treated him. But I mean, money talks. To be honest with you, Peter Chicken Man Brennan Earl, what's your favorite Comedy Store podcast appearance? Hmm. I mean, I've liked them all, but I mean, not. I don't have one that's like that was better than the others. I did like the last one I did with. I think it was the last one I did with Ian Bagg and Eleanor Kerrigan. I was thinking wrestling was making a Monday Night Wars type comeback. Cody was making waves for a bit, if it seemed. I mean, it'll be interesting. It seems he got pushed aside for The Rock and Roman Reigns, but I have a friend of mine in the know who said it might be a WrestleMania, a three-way match where Cody could pin The Rock and not Roman Reigns. I don't know if I'd be down for that. I mean, I still think he should have won in LA, but um, you know, that's just my opinion. Because I think, LA is a lot of eyes on the product. Philadelphia winning, I mean, it still means a lot, but I just don't think that um, it meant as much as it could have, if he had won it in LA. He needs to come out in the Great American Bash ring wear. Well, I'll assume that. I mean, he still looks in pretty good shape, but he's not very jacked. You could tell even though he's wearing black. I mean, he's not flabby. I mean, he probably looks great for 64, but I think he'll just continue wearing the all black outfit. Earl, I bowled a state final tournament and took seventh place amongst almost 200 bowlers this past weekend. Do you ever go bowling? The last time I went bowling was with Chandler's family in Alabama. Ooh, geez, that's like 5 years ago. And then I think me and Chandler went bowling, maybe a couple of our first dates. But it's the last time I've gone bowling. Damn, Jay, what's your average? Yeah, I mean that's. I'm not a very good bowler. I mean, I think maybe my best score ever is like 140. Um, but 214, that's pretty good, Jay. Like the guy who won it, what was his average? Like 280. I grew up watching bowling, Earl Anthony and, Chris Schenkel on ABC Sports. So, I've been no, I mean, I don't recall what the other people around us were drinking or if they were drinking, but I was with, Chandler, and her family, so it was pretty, relaxed. It's a turkey's 3 strikes in a row. I think I've done it 1 turkey in my life. Um, I, I I think her mom won, to be honest with you. Um, well, I mean, it's that's all subjective. I mean, I'm an '80s guy, so Eddie Van Halen was in his prime in the '80s. You know, I think if you grew up in the '70s or late '60s, you would say Jimi Hendrix, or Jeff Beck, or Page. I think if you're an '80s guy, you're gonna go Van Halen, Randy Rhoads. If you like the faster playing, I'm not saying he's the greatest of all time, but Yngwie Malmsteen. And there's a ton of guys in the '80s who I'm not saying they're the greatest of all time, but like they're incredibly good players, like Vivian Campbell, George Lynch, Warren DeMartini. I saw Warren DeMartini, and I'm not saying this just because he was at Rat, but he played a Zappa benefit show, I think, at the Wiltern, and like he was probably stood out the most. And I had a friend of mine who was on the show, and uh, she's like, "Yeah, I thought the best guy was I don't know. He's from some band. It's named after a rodent. I mean, oh, Rat with 2 T's. The inspiration for that song." Uh, yeah, well, that's not surprising. AC/DC. I mean, I imagine there's not a lot of money in bowling unless I think bowling strikes me as like surfing. Like you got to be one of the top 5 or you make no money. Yeah, it's not surprising about Trump. Who do you think you are? I am. Yeah, Peter Weber. I can't remember anyone outside of Earl Anthony and Peter Weber. I don't remember any of the women. It's hard to make good money on tour. Yeah, Marty Friedman's a great guitar player. I mean, there's so many players from the '80s who you could like. Phil Collen from Def Leppard is like, he's good. Um, but I mean, they're so like, I mean, Def Leppard's so big that you don't, and they're so commercial that I think a lot of commercial guitar players, like the '80s guys, Slash, just another one who's got his own style, and um, you know, he- he's incredibly respected by guitar players. So I mean, Warren DeMartini is just like it's weird. He just kind of went off the radar after Rat, and he did a few things here and there. I think he did an album, Japan only release that I got. I think it's called Crazy Enough to Sing, uh, and that was really good. Steve Stevens, is one of the all time greats to me. Um, but if you look at him and go, "Oh Jesus, this guy looks like a Jersey Shore housewife," but you put Steve Stevens in a room with any other guitar player, he can play better. Most of them, or if not all of them. Peter Chicken Man Brennan. My favorite was when you guys did the Boone tribute. Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, there's a couple I'm not remembering. Um, William Zoom. He could have become a bowling hustler like in the movie Kingpin. Absolutely. Adrian Vandenberg. That's another guy. Steve Vai. Uh, yeah, I mean, bowling alley man, it's pretty easy. Yeah, Robert Fripp. I mean, we could probably go on the next hour naming guitar players. Michael Anthony, greatest background. Oh, 100% AC/DC. I mean, there's not really many. Although I do like, and I guess it's both of them because when Benjamin Moore was singing lead, Rick Ocasek would do backing vocals, and vice versa. They were very good backing vocals. Extraneous. I know. Well, I mean, I don't think the race is rigged. Extraneous. I just think they're going on if the second half of the votes are counted and they match the voting of the first half, it's gonna be about the same. So I don't let's try to stay away from the rigged election talk, because I know through friends of mine that YouTube looks for that shit, and I've worked, too hard to get this damn channel monetized. Yeah, I mean, I think bowling's like surfing, and, Roger Taylor from, Queen, he's a drummer. Uh, Betancourt, I met him at the Comedy Store. I mean, literally, and then you get to some of the country guys, like, they kill it, like Kenny Wayne Shepherd and, I think the guy who's in, no, Sammy Hagar's band, Damon Johnson, he's I'm not saying he's the greatest guitar player of all time, but he's up there. I mean, he's up there with the top players. Who else could we name, from the '80s? I mean, Brad Gillis, bro. Like, yeah, Jerry Reed. Like, that's a guy you think, "What? Jerry Reed couldn't play with Van Halen. Jerry Reed could play Eruption to perfection." Um, but look at it's on YouTube. Speak of the Devil live with Brad Gillis playing for Ozzy, given like a week's notice to learn. Tony Iommi, that's another guy, and Randy Rhoads parts. Jakey Lee is another one. Like, I'm not saying he's the greatest guitar player of all time, but once again, you put him in a room with anyone, he could play just what they play. Um, so I mean, there's just so many guitar players, and it's really, I'm not saying Ace Frehley is, of course, when you say greatest guitar player, that could mean. Uh, oh, I see what you're saying, Jordan. Uh, but when you say greatest guitar player, are you talking technical? Are you talking, uh, you know, lyrically? You know, are you talking, combination of everything? Um, I mean, like, I love Jakey Lee. The sound he gets. He's my favorite Aussie guitar player, and that's not knocking Zach Wild. That's another guy you can name. Uh, oh yeah, I mean the blues. BB King, Chuck Berry. Uh, but then when you're talking greatest guitar players, a lot of people think that's thanking uh, who was the most influential. And as crazy as it is, Ace Frehley is probably a top five guitar player from the standpoint of most people influenced. Like anyone from the '80s, '90s, and probably stopped after the '90s, but they were all influenced by Ace because they grew up in the late '70s and early '80s. So yeah, Prince that's another guy. Well, I mean, if you know the background of when Randy Rhoads died, I think they tried this hippie guy from Whitesnake, Bernie Taupin or Torme, Bernie Torme or Bernie Taupin. I know, and then he didn't really work out. He was great, but he didn't work out. And then Brad Gillis came in, and Bernie actually stayed in the band to help Brad Gillis out. And so Brad Gillis, in like literally a week, had to learn all the Black Sabbath songs, all the Randy Rhoads songs. And the Randy Rhoads stuff in particular was pretty complex musically. So to face that kind of pressure was fucking insane. And he killed it. Now a lot of people didn't like his take on the Randy Rhoads solos because a little bit of a whammy bar in there, and Randy Rhoads didn't really use a whammy bar, but like, give me a break, man. It was on a week's notice. Um, Yeah, I mean, Prince is definitely up there. Tommy Morris was a great guitar player acoustically. Yeah, I mean, I would say the top five most influential guitar players, not like their technical ability, but just who picked up a guitar because they heard these guys play. Hendrix, Chuck Berry, Ace Frehley, probably Stevie Ray Vaughan, and Van Halen. Uh, yeah, Chuck Berry was also into urinating. Um, well, I might be with you on that. I mean, I think, I mean, Nicky was a good lyricist for that time. Um, like Hendrix still stacks up in terms of writing and whatnot, but there are some '80s bands that and songwriters and guitar players and bass players and drummers and whatnot who they don't necessarily hold up that much. But well, yeah, oh, absolutely, AC/DC. But it's like, what's he supposed to do? Randy Rhoads died. It's not like Brad Gillis went around Randy Rhoads' back while he was alive and said, "Hey, I'm better than this guy." But uh, when you think of the pressure he must have been under, um, I mean, I think he said the first show they did in Binghamton, people were like flipping him off. It's what are you going to do? The guy died. Like, and Sharon wanted Ozzy on the fucking road. Chop chop, a baby doll. So, you know, and the guy from I'm gonna butcher his name, but he played with Frank Zappa, and he was the guitar player in Missing Persons. Warren Cuculio or Warren. Like I'm not saying his last name correctly, but he's an underrated guitar player. Uh, Brian May. I mean, we could go on. The guys from all three guys from Iron Maiden are good. Uh, some of the guys in Motorhead, like Vinnie Vincent from Kiss, Tom Schultz from Boston. Like, it's probably literally 100 guys you could say are like up there in terms of being the greats. But I mean, but John Ray, that's kind of like in the same vibe. Ace Frehley was influential, and a lot of people did pick up the guitar because of Kurt Cobain, Jerry Garcia. Yes, William. Uh, I knew I was butchering his name. I've been on a missing persons kick lately. What a band! Warren on guitar. Uh, some guy named Chuck was one of the keyboard players, and one of the great drummers of all time, Terry Bozzio. John Sykes, another guy. I mean, Jason Tebow, 100%. But I mean, they Missing Persons was a great band musically because I believe the rhythm section all came over from Zappa's band. So they um, had a very heavy virtuoso background, and then you had Dale Bozio, who's like the Lady Gaga of her time. Yeah, Neil Sean doesn't get the credit. He's a great guitar player. Like I've seen him live a few times. Like, man, this guy's amazing. Um, Lindsey Buckingham, Dave Kooning from the Killers. You never really hear his name thrown about with great guitar players, but like he's awesome. I mean, yeah, I don't think. I mean, the Plasmatics were. I don't know if you could put any of their musicians, including the great Jean Beauvoir, into great musicians. But you didn't have to be a great musician to play in the Plasmatics. They were like three chords and you know talk about pussy. Uh, Yeah, I mean, Buckingham played with the Killers at the soccer stadium last year, uh, and I didn't get to go, and I knew they would do something special, so I'm bummed out I missed that. Um, Keith Richards, another guy. Like, well, I think Keith Richards, Ace Frehley, Jimmy Page, they're kind of sloppy. They're not known for their. They're almost known as jammers versus people like Van Halen and Randy Rhoads, who every solo is mapped out to the millisecond. So it depends what you like. I mean, the Plasmatics are fun. I mean, Wendy O. Williams. I mean, just like you know, you like she's pretty impressive. So my dad gave me a bunch of his old records and had a lot of Plasmatics in there. Yeah, I mean, I like my favorite Wendy O. Williams album is Wow, um, which I think came out in 1984, and it's basically the Lost Kiss album. Um, where you had Eric Carr on a lot of the drums, Gene Simmons doing the bass to up to a lot under the name Reginald Von Helsing. And I think Vinnie Vincent played the guitar solo, if I'm not mistaken, on It's My Life, uh, which is one of my favorite. I love that song. I got a reputation. People know who I am. Rules are made to be broken. You can't kill what you don't understand. I see you running scared. I never knew you cared. Don't hide your head in the sand. Been to hell and back. I survived, and that's a fact. It's my life, and I do what I wanna do, what I wanna do, what I like, and that's all you get for free. Um, um, F that booty. I don't know that Plasmatics tune. Uh, yeah, Keith is a great um, composer and player for, and Dave Grohl's another guy. Like for a guy who was a drummer first, like he's a very good guitar player. Yes, please check out Keith Richards' biography. Honky Tonk Man has a good. Yeah, I see what you're doing there, John. Right, you're making a funny. Missing Persons is too. Well, yeah, but it's really not Missing Persons though. It's Dale and three other dudes. It's no one from the original band. Jeff Jarrett's a very good guitar player. Wendy and Lemmy were a thing for a bit. Yeah, that's I can only imagine that sex. Can you imagine them two fucking on speed? Woo! I'm a Dire Straits, Mark Knopfler. You want to see a good? It's one of my favorite. It's uh, Sultans of Swing live at the Alchemy Academy, and the drummer. It's one of the most amazing. Uh, Even Mark Knopfler and the other guy who played Barefoot, at one point, the drummer's going so nuts with his playing, they both look back and go, "Fuck." Williams, Terry Williams, William, you're my go-to guy. I think his name was Terry Williams, the drummer at the time. But look up Sultans of Swing live at Alchemy and watch the drummer. It's unbelievable. Uh, Kiss unreleased song "In Your Face." I think that was released at some point on the box set. I think. Uh, I mean, I thought the Kiss box set was a little underwhelming, to be honest with you. When you think that Kiss probably had, in their heyday, I would say at least 2 to 4 fully recorded songs left off the albums. Like I would have loved to heard Kiss's version of "Sword and Stone," which they gave to the German band Bonfire. That's a great song. And there is a demo of it on YouTube. It's not the greatest sound quality, but I feel I am the sword, you are the stone. Um, Let me probably had some Polaroids of Wendy in his dresser. Yeah, you ain't kidding, William. Uh, but I think let me look up real fast. I'm going to end the stream in a couple minutes just because I don't want to step on Pat Dixon's time. Uh, I realized that I could keep going, but I'm about respect. Uh, yes, Terry Williams is a Welsh rock drummer. Uh, During the 70s and early 80s, he was the drummer for Dave Edmunds. Dave Edmunds is another guitar player. Check out that YouTube clip. Let me make sure the exact. Whoa, 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 whoa. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. I got a Ric Flair clip. Let me. Sultans. Hold on, I gotta turn the light on. I mean, I wouldn't say Richie Sambora is one of the great guitar players of all time, but he's the perfect guitar player for Bon Jovi. Yes, Dire Straits, Sultans of Swing, and then in parentheses, Alchemy Live. It's a 10-minute, 47-second version of Sultans of Swing, and it's fucking amazing. Like, just watch the drummer. Like, it's insane how good the drummer is. Um, Joe Perry is another. Joe Perry's like, yeah, I mean, Joe Perry's a great guitar player, and like Sambora and Bon Jovi, um, Ace in the early years of Kiss, the perfect guitar player for Aerosmith. It's like Bobby Blotzer um, has never really done a lot outside of Rat, but he's the perfect drummer for Rat. Like you could get a better technical drummer than Blotzer and Rat, and it just wouldn't be the same. Um, so, if you got any last minute questions, guys, I'm going to end in about 5 minutes to watch my beloved Los Angeles Kings, and then I'm going to work out, and then I'm going to go downstairs and take William Zoom's advice on clicking my garage, not my garage clicker, but my car locks 10 times. And hopefully that works. I don't know about G.G. Allen. He was the perfect guitar player for his band. I'll just leave it at that. Um, I mean, there's so many great musicians. I mean, Izzy Stradlin. Am I saying he's the greatest guitar player? No, but he was the perfect rhythm guitar player for um, Guns N' Roses. Robin Crosby, the perfect rhythm guitar player for Rat. Um, Michael Schenker is another one. I mean, watch Michael Schenker play, man. Fuck. Um, who else? Some more 80s guys are coming. I mean, I'm more 80s based, so um, you know, I'm trying to think. Rudolph Schenker is a great. Yes, please do. Or I mean, I don't want to bother you, William. Yeah, MSG. I mean, yeah, I mean, Duff McKagan. He's a comedy store guy. Yeah, I mean, there's so many, like, and now the names are starting to flow. This always happens to me when I'm ending a stream. What we've been talking about starts popping into my head. I'm not saying he's the greatest guitar player of all time, but CC DeVille was a classically trained guitar player. Like, um, uh, wait, I don't know who you're talking about, Dave. Um, and doesn't get the credit for being as good as he is because of the pink guitars and the blonde hair, but like and to be honest with you, Mark St. John of Kiss, you'll never hear his name in the subject of greatest guitar players, but like he could play. He was probably too good to be in Kiss. Okay, yeah, I mean, I'll take a picture of what I see if it doesn't work, and then um, you know, I mean, I'm in no rush because I don't really drive that much anymore, to be honest with you. Yeah, Tracy Guns was the other guy I was about to say. I mean, fantastic guitar player, like really good. Um, I mean, there's like just on the '80s alone. Yeah, I mean, CC is like legit, and Mark St. John was. I think the rumor is he took guitar lessons from Randy Rhoads because he lived in Garden Grove, which is ironically, where I played hockey all those years. Um, and when Kiss was looking for a guitar player after Vinnie Vincent, uh, Grover Jackson from Jackson Guitars recommended Mark St. John. So when Grover Jackson is recommending you, like you got the chops. Um, hey man, John Ray, you can put a link in the chat if you want. Um, did I see Django Unchained live? No, I'm not. I'm not down with that racial humor. Um, Lois is having a nightmare right now. I gotta wake her up. She does that thing when dogs are sleeping. Yeah, I mean, CC DeMille was great in Poison. Really the perfect. When they had Blues Sarcino in Poison, like he's a great guitar player, but it just wasn't CC. It's like all the guitar players in Kiss, frankly, after Ace, were all better technical guitar players than Ace, but, you know, wasn't Ace. Um, it could be something dumb like the batteries below 12 volts from sitting too much. I mean, I never really sit. Uh, I mean, it might be but the lights are on and shit, so I don't think it's the battery, William. But um, I'm not a mechanic, so I mean, I would get. I mean, I'm praying it's not the starter, and just that the codes are off, and I do that thing 10 times, and it works. But I appreciate it. Jay, I appreciate your advice, and Wheezy Jefferson. I think he's left us. Uh, so someone told me Gilby was the sloppiest musician they've ever played with. But he kind of fit with Guns N' Roses, but he wasn't Izzy. Yeah, I wanted to buy one of Robin Crosby's Jackson guitars, toward the end of his life, because my friend worked at a place called Johnny Guitars, um, and um, Robin Crosby was so desperate for money, he'd come in with these fucking beautiful Jackson reverse uh, head guitars, Flying V's that they made. They called it the King Five, I think, and he'd sell them for like $100. He just wanted fucking $100 to score drugs. So, and I know there was one. There's some vintage guitar site that had like one of his guitars for 5 grand, but the information was information. What am I, Shaq doing a table read? It was a little dodgy, or else I would have bought it just to frame it. I do want to buy one of Steve Stevens' guitars just to frame it. Thank you, Kevin. I'm getting your text. I'll answer them when I'm finished. Um, I mean, my prayer isn't that it's a starter, but I can't. I've never had a car after 2 years have it be the starter, but it is kind of making that sound just a little bit. So we'll see. Yeah, if anyone ever sees a Robin Crosby Jackson guitar, I don't want to play it. I just want to have frame it. I'd have Stephen Pearcy sign it. By the way, Robin Crosby's house is for sale, and it's right down the street from me. Oh man, I hope I win the Powerball tonight. I'd be lit. We'll be doing a live stream from Robin Crosby's bedroom. Oh, if those walls could talk. All right, you kids, boys and girls. Any um, any last minute questions? We got about 2 minutes. Peter Chicken Man Brennan, favorite LWO, NWO, BWO member. I never really got into LWO or BWO, but I will tell you my favorite NWO member, Virgil. Hello. No, Scott Hall. They should have never expanded. It's snowing in New York City. Unfortunately, it didn't snow enough on the Buffalo Bills offense. Yeah, give me a thumbs up or something. Who cleaned Paul Bear's toilets? Not me. Okay, well, I think you just put www dot whatever the link is. Like, I'll show you. Let's see. I think this is how you do it. Yeah, I'm trying to help you guys now. I mean, maybe it doesn't link like, but where put wherever people can find your music, John. I'm sorry, John. My bad. The Ragu Overlord. I remember when you had Jack O'Halloran on the podcast. So many interesting theories he had. He was awesome, man, and came to my house. Like it was a tough sell to get him over here because he's like, "Well, can we Skype?" I'm like, "No, I don't really do that. Can we stream? I don't really do that. Can we? Was it Skype, Zoom? Yeah, I don't really do that. You got to come to my house." And he lives in like Manhattan Beach, so it was a fucking uh, big deal. But he was awesome. Uh, Jack is, and he's still alive. I almost want to do a round two with him, but I don't know what else we would talk about. Like, uh, but I didn't know. I don't think it came up in our podcast, but uh, I didn't know he was up for the James Bond part of Jaws. Does Kenny Omega still follow you? I think so. Let me check and see if Kenny Omega still follows me. I would be devastated if he unfollowed me. I will talk to my friend. He does always get back to me on DMs, but I don't DM him too much. I don't want to be fucking creepy. He does still follow me. He only follows 61 people too. Thank you, Kenny Omega, and thank you, Jordan, for this. Hey, give the man a hand. Uh, hey, Earl, what's your PayPal link? Noah, no, I'm not saying that loud. I know what you're doing, Noah. Stop that. Although I appreciate your humor. Are you trying to get me kicked off YouTube by saying that name? Out of control, dude. But I don't mean to be like Kevin Brennan, but I will take a picture. Well, my PayPal is what I just posted up there. That PayPal.com/Earl Skakel. You're a big kid, just like me. I am, but no, Noah. I will say no. I'm not going to say the last name. And I'm certainly not going to say those two words together. Out of control, Noah. Out of control. It's not a joke, girl. That's the same kid who just got drafted or something. Oh, I mean that's. Yeah, I can't say that name. Like, I appreciate even if you gave me a super chat right now, Noah, I wouldn't be able to say that name under any amount, and that's not some scam to try and get you to super chat me right now. Uh, I could not say, I'm sorry, I can't, uh, you know, my humor has limitations. So thank you guys. This has been a fun stream. I was supposed to do it last night, but I had a little emergency that I had to attend to. So usually my flagship stream will be Sunday night, um, 7 p.m. Unless I have something to do. Lambda, lambda, lambda. What up? How about a hand job for a super chat? Better be three figures. Yes, all is well, Grimson Pain. Sometimes life gets in the way of streams and whatnot. Well, I do appreciate you guys all, helping me get to my hours, and I'm going to thank all the people who tipped me tonight. Um, Peter Chicken Man Brennan, Jay Santos, ACDC 5150, three times, I think four times. Jesus, thank you very much. Um, Days with Jordan the Lion, of course, my good friend, and Ross Incognito. I'm gonna hit the like. I didn't know you could hit the like. I appreciate. Listen, every little bit helps, and you guys. Yes, thank you, John. Sorry we couldn't. Just type in where people can find your music. You guys have helped me out with the car. Thank you again, William Zoom, Wheezy Jefferson, and Joe Santos. I appreciate and Kevin K. See, this is what I want to use this chat for. We haven't made fun of one person in chat or elsewhere in the internet. It's 27 people at its peak in here, I think. But here's the crazy thing. The other night, I think I saw about 35 people in chat, and my friend sent me a message at the same time, texting me, "Hey, congratulations, man! There's 93 people in your chat right now." So he saw there were 93 people. I only saw like whatever it was 35. So um, you know, let me send a couple bowling balls. I don't. I wouldn't use them, Jay. Uh, but see, the heart is getting in the way of. Um, Let me send a couple bowling T-shirts. I see it. I can't see because the fucking um, hold on here. Um, well, I send it to the comedy store, Jay. You don't have to. I'm a large in T-shirts and stuff. Oh, let me send a couple bowling balls, or yeah, don't send a bowling ball. I mean, boy, I mean, I haven't bowled in 5 years, but thank you, extraneous. I thought I saw T, so I thought, oh, bowling T-shirts. Uh, Thank you very much. I appreciate, if you guys ever want to, and this isn't me, I guess I shouldn't give out my home address on a stream. But if anyone ever wants to send me anything important, uh, please just do so. Care of my name at the Comedy Store, uh, 8433 Sunset, West Hollywood, California, 90069. They leave everything in the manager's office, and when I get something, um, they let me know. So thank you. I don't mean to be picky, but I can't wear anything that's large is my size, I guess. But thank you very much. Earl does like, well, I'm trying to sell all my jerseys right now, so um, it's a lot though. I probably have the world's largest game worn hockey jersey collection. Scott Robinson, have you ever gone bowling with Jeremy Piven? No, and I never would because of creep. So I love you guys. Uh, maybe I'll do this Mondays after MLC. No, I'm a large, and I'm not that big of a guy. Look like this is an Adidas shirt that's large, so so this give you guys a little cleavage. Woo! Um, so I've gone through many. I'm about 6'1". Everyone thinks I'm taller. Keep the sidewalk dumper in check. I will. I will for sure. Game worn jerseys, are they stinking? No, I have a. They're all washed and cleaned, and some still have blood on them and stuff. Ironically, those are the most valuable ones. Uh, if anyone's looking for about 500 game worn hockey jerseys, just PayPal me at eastskakel at AOL.com. About $350,000, and we'll work out shipping. You'll probably just have to come to my home and pick it up. I will give out my home address and DM if you're buying my jerseys collection. No, I actually try and I get a lot of shit for the one outfit I wore. The A lot of my recent YouTube clips are from because a couple trolls were like, "You should wear a jacket that fits you," but the jacket fits perfectly. But the bowling for soup baseball shirt was a large, but it was very long, so it looks. I'm telling you, Jay, I am 6'1". I'll turn the light on for you. This is perfect fit. Right about at the hip bones. So, you know, like in John Parvado's t-shirts, I wear large um, like in leather jackets. I wear either, the John Barbados USA collection. They don't do number sizing. It's small, medium, large. I wear large. Uh, usually wear large and leather jackets. I did. Hello, CB. Sorry, I was just about to end. So sorry. I think you said hello somewhere. Earl the Pearl. Yes. I do have a swimmer's build now. Well, I mean, maybe he's like a PETA guy or something. I don't know. Um, I used to wear like X double X or XL because I like a baggier fit, but now I like it lean and mean. That's probably the time I met John Barbados is the funniest. So, like I said, I used to wear like baggier leather jackets because for whatever reason, I just like that fit. So I'm in there buying a leather jacket once, and my friend David, who works there, we're like not arguing, but we're disagreeing on the size. He's like, dude, you're a 52. I'm like, I want a 56. I want to move and groove. And finally, he gets so frustrated. He just wanted to make the fucking sale, which I get. He calls this older dude over. The guy looks at me, he touches my shoulders, touches me here, and goes, he's a 52. And I'm like, who the fuck are you? And he looks at me and goes, John. I'm like, Earl. He's like, John Barbados. I'm like, Dave, I'm a 52. Hello. Who the fuck are you? I'm John. Right, I'm Earl. John Barbados. By the way, if you're looking for real estate in the Los Angeles area, look no further than J Lux, the real estate king of Los Angeles. Do you like to help out my friends? A 55. I'm good old double nickel. All right, you guys. Earl basically wears belly shirts with the belly button hanging out. No, but I think during the Ric Flair roast, my fly was undone, and I had like 7 people texting me. I was so fucking nervous on stage. I'm like, "What are you guys texting me for? You know I'm on TV, right? Live TV, bitch." And then they're like, "Your dick's hanging out or something." I don't know what's going on. Michael, well, maybe. I mean, I wouldn't mind having Michael Phelps' body. I mean, I have skinny arms. I've always had skinny arms. Yes. September 17th, 1968. Even though, fuck yeah. Look at that shit. So, happy birthday to you, Jay. You're a class of 68 for life. And this has been. Oh no, I mean I'm not like ordering you around, Jay. I'm just saying I don't without knowing what exactly you're sending me, like a T-shirt or a jersey, or like one of those button-down bowling league shirts. Mark Spitz, that's a nice old school reference. One of the greats. He was Michael Phelps before Michael Phelps. You know how much pussy Mark Spitz got, the mustache and all that. Oh. So that is it. Whoever asked for my PayPal, I hope you're sending me a tip. Just kidding. Earl Skakel over now. Our next stream will probably be after Dynamite on Wednesday. And thank you, Jay. See, I don't even know what dude style means because I've never really seen The Big Lebowski, but I will wear it on stage and take a picture in it for you. Earl Skakel. See you Wednesday night. Don't forget the flagship stream will always be Sunday nights. Sunday nights. I love you all. My TV just came on. That's a sign to stop it, the stream.